Yo, 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 what's up? It's your girl Jay, the High Priestess, back at it again. With this general tarot reading for this full moon eclipse, eclipse. Ooh, for this full moon in Libra 2026. So obviously something is coming full circle from the eclipse that we just had. Excuse me. That full moon total lunar eclipse in Virgo. That's when the cosmic cleanup crew was coming in. And I feel like now the cleanup crew is sweeping out some like final sheds in your relationships, and not just romantic relationships, all your relationships. This is it's about your relationships, but it's always coming back to you. There's something about it, about you, how you show up in your relationships, how the role that you play, the archetype that you think you are versus what you actually portray. With Libra here, the word that keeps coming up is duplicitous. And I feel like there's a spectrum when it comes to Libra energy, between like dualistic and duplicitous. You know what I mean? And like where you fall on that spectrum, where you land, I feel like something is being impacted with that. Hydrate, light it if you need it. It's just Aries season. We need a gallon a day. I'm back in my uniform. I'm flowy. Get comfortable. I have lots of notes. Full moons are a period of release, but it's also a harvest, the harvest, or the time where the harvest presents itself from the previous new moon. In this case, this full moon is going to be presenting for some the harvest of the seeds that were planted from the new moon in Pisces. That new moon in Pisces was on March 18th. So something is coming around from then. Libra is the sign of I balance. I balance is Libra's motto, but Libra is all relationships, partnerships, contracts. It also is, it can be like marriage, and I put aesthetic, spouse, open enemies, and neutrality. There is some kind of a release or a harvest around those themes. Also, this full moon, this release around relationships is happening on April Fool's Day. The universe just be laughing in our face. Just like you just literally be playing in our face. And it's just like, you ain't nobody's fool, bitch. Like, you're done being anybody's fool, or done being like a fool for love, in like a pejorative, negative connotation, I wrote, you will no longer be anyone's fool. You don't fool yourself anymore. You don't delude yourself. You don't abandon yourself the way that you used to. You don't like sweep shit under the rug the way that you used to. You don't people please the way that you used to. So you're not going to attract that. You're done attracting that. You're done. I feel like those of you who really step into it this full moon, like, you can literally fuck around and like for real, not be like, not feel like you are someone's fool, like, and not feeling like a fool for being intimate or sharing yourself or opening yourself. Those of you who are watching this, I just feel like you have earned your stripes. You've paid your dues. Your lessons have been learned. The red flags have been experienced and encountered. You got tattoos with them motherfuckers. And like, there's just something there around like, oh, I know what that looks like. I've been through that. I've experienced that. I now remember where that red flag or that no, that internal no, where that lives or where it sounds, where it alarms from within my body. And I don't ignore that anymore. So I feel like you don't play about yourself anymore. So you aren't attracting in people who play about you. And the ones that do, you spot it real quick. You like peep game real fast, you know? And so I feel like this is progress. Ah, yes, this is progressive. Like, cheers. Like, you can spot a fuck person from a centimeter away. You can tell by the cologne. You know. But I also want to say it's just like the theme. I feel like the theme of this full moon is I ain't nobody's fool. Also, what just dropped in, I no longer will suffer a fool. I will no longer entertain fools. I will no longer associate with fools and foolish behavior. I will no longer be guilty by association. I'm not exposing myself to that foolish bullshit. Some of you are like finally shedding, like you I feel like some of us have fucked around and figured out, like, I hate to use this term, but like you figured out, like, you know what your brand is, you know what I mean? Like, just in life, just like as an archetype, and you're like, ooh, no, that's off brand for me. No, no. You know what I mean? There's something there. Also, this full moon is very loosely opposing Neptune and Saturn in Aries. And I just feel like delusional behaviors and habits are being exposed and therefore generating change. I feel like how much time you wasted or how much time you are like willing to waste is changing. Some of us have like been beating ourselves up for so long, like, why didn't I see this, why did I stay in this long, blah blah blah, blah whatever. And it's just like end rant, like be done, like bought, like bullying yourself, or like, why did I wait this long, why did I make this person wait this long, why did I not do this, why didn't I do this. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, like the milk is spilled. It is what it is. Extract the data from the darkness. That's that's the motto. That's the move. Um, how delusional you were may get highlighted somehow. The ways that you ignore the red flags, how long you stayed, those narratives around that shit is being, and that's not just romantic relationships. For a lot of us, that is like professional relationships. For a lot of us, it's platonic relationships. For a lot of us, it's familial relationships. And you're like, I can't believe I put up with this. I can't believe I perpetuated this. I can't believe participated in this for this long. Whatever it is, extend yourself some grace, level the fuck up, glow up. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Take the wisdom with you. And don't be a groupie. Keep it motherfucking moving, you know? Like, okay. Damn, did I? Okay. Excuse me. This full moon is happening on April 1st, 2026. It's always funny to me because my mom tells me how this was my due date. Supposed to be born on the 1st, but I needed an extra 2 weeks. Let her cook. Anyway, um, this is happening at 10:12 p.m. Eastern Time, 9:12 p.m. Central, 8:12 p.m. Mountain Time, and 7:12 p.m. Pacific. and it's happening at 12 degrees Libra. And now that I'm reading that, I just said 12 that many times. Bruh, the 12 is the hangman in the major arcana. Like the hangman is number 12. Here's number 11, the justice, which is Libra. Ooh, okay. Oh my god, y'all. The first card. What's on the bottom of the deck is the Fool reversed. I love my fucking job so much. I need to sit. I swear there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 decks out right now. I have not used this deck recently. I did not plan that at all. And if I'm being like really 100 with you, when I was talking about nobody's fool and the word fool and all of that shit, when I was writing out my notes, I did not for a second even think about the fucking fool card. Like the full reverse, bruh, really. And I just said the theme is like, you ain't nobody's fool. I just feel like we're like we're maturing. We're growing up. You just like you know the difference between an uncalculated risk, a risk, and a leap of faith. You know the difference between some childlike bullshit, uncalculated for the plot level kind of shenanigans versus like taking care of what needs to be taken care of. That threw me. Okay, also with the full reversed, there's something here about um some of us are afraid to take the leap of faith when it comes to making a big decision, or when it comes to like something that feels like your destiny. Something I feel like there are people who have done foolish shit to you, and are like experiencing foolish consequences. Like what is it? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Some of you have had to recover from people who played stupid games with you. And I'm just letting you know, whether you know or not, whether you look at it or not, I'm letting you know, like whether you are still in contact with them, like they are winning stupid prizes. Some of you played with somebody and you know you are winning stupid prizes. You played stupid games. Wicked games, I heard. Ooh. The Fool reversed. I just feel like your relationship to air, your relationship to the breeze, your relationship to people with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements is changing. I feel like um, there may be just something like prioritizing stability, prioritizing, like some of you may be realizing that you really, really value stability or home life or consistency or like a routine. Um, I also like some of you that may be like really like autistic or OCD in that shit. I feel like also some of us are really being held up or supported or grounded by way of someone with Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn placements. There could be some sort of a rebirth, a restart, an apology, a fear, an aha moment, a realization in regards to somebody with Aries, Leo, or Aries, Aquarius, or Leo placements. But this hangman energy, all these 12s, I feel like there is, for a lot of us, we're releasing an outdated subconscious setting or an outdated setting around like what it is that you deserve or something that you've been caught up on, something or someone you've been hung up on, or something that has like had like a big pause in it, or a halt, or a stop, something that has maybe been impacting your mental health, or it may involve somebody with Pisces placements. It could just be something about like there are big realizations, or there is some kind of a big reveal when it comes to the power of the subconscious mind, why you do what you do when you know what you know, what you experienced, your nature versus your nurture, all of that stuff. I feel like you're starting to see there's some sort of like a releasing of old programming around relationships, around who you are, how you show up, how you partner. It's big is how that feels. Okay, no, but this is happening at the 12th degree of Libra, and so I got to hit you with the handy dandy Inside Degrees by Elias Lonsdale, and we are looking for the 12th degree of Libra. All right. Elias Lonsdale's description of the 12th degree of Libra is the burning of a bow of sage. Wishful thinking, hoping for the best, looking toward a new start, naive and gullible. You are suspended, hangman. You are suspended, quiet, receptive, and lacking in discernment, desiring with authentic feelings to bring a resonant impulse to bear, yet hobbled by blind fervor and tunnel vision. Oof. This is also about discipline, y'all. In some sort of way, like some area of your life has lacked discipline or structure or something. Anyway, um, prone to easy ways out and ideological positions. You are oddly poised between sheer reflective inwardness and exaggerated attempts to come out with ways to get on with the shared reality. A bit confused and at a loss, but charming, endearing, appealing, well intentioned, and idealistic in ways half delusional and half genuinely restorative. God damn. Like, I could just go on and on and on about that. So this is where this is like his interpretation of the like where, or the energy that's surrounding this full moon by way of the degree that it's happening at, the 12th degree of Libra. That's funny that the hangman energy, and it says literally naive and gullible. You are suspended, quiet, receptive, and lacking in discernment. That is the shit that's being uprooted. The aspect of you that is Aries, the child, the first sign of the zodiac, the naivete, the gullibility. Naive and gullible, you are suspended, quiet, receptive, and lacking in discernment, which are two things like that's the worst shit. That's the worst combination. Lacking in discernment and excuse me, lacking in discernment, yet receptive. That just means no boundaries. That means anything can just like get in or get out. And you haven't harnessed the power or the miracle of the internal yes and the internal no, and discerning the two, between the two, and so that's where I feel like we're being developed and evolved, desiring with authentic feeling to bring a resonant impulse to bear, yet hobbled by blind fervor and tunnel vision. I do feel like there is a very narrow, nonchalant, stoic, unexcitable, sterile characteristics that are just being like brought to the surface or processed or purged or denied or I feel like we don't want it edited and polished anymore. We as a collective are returning back to remembering that like, ha, baby, I like it raw. Baby, I like it raw. There's like there's an awareness now of like authenticity and rawness, and that's what Neptune and Aries is about to like bring up in the collective is the desire for fucking realness, for the raw shit, for people to just like be their human selves. um so there's that. I don't even need to dive into that anymore because that's just so much. I want to pull a little from a few of these decks and just see what the energy is. A couple of oracles. This is the Botanical Inspirations deck. If you can see that clearly. Let's see what are the messages for this full moon. Did I pray? No. Crazy. I've been praying up all day and working all day and channeling all fucking day. So it's flowing right now. But clearing out any funky ass energy, welcoming in my benevolent ancestors. Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth, thanking you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for this full moon in Libra. I keep wanting to say full moon, total lunar eclipse in Libra. I'm not sure when the last one of that was. Some of you can look that up, put that in the comments, but see when what that was for you. See what was going on around the last full moon total lunar eclipse in Libra. I feel like that was in 2023. I'm not sure. All right. Anyway. Thank you. Dahlias. It's my favorite. Dignity. A wise man has dignity without pride. A fool has pride without dignity. Confucius. It just keeps coming up. Confirmation after confirmation with that fool thing. I love that I forgot completely. I'm a professional tarot reader, and the fool card didn't come up as I was writing fool like 4 times on that piece of paper. Anyway, a wise man has dignity without pride. A fool has pride without dignity. It's funny, that's the dahlias are my favorite. And it's very Libra, dignity. How you show up, how you present, your aesthetic. I feel like there is some sort of like you starting to take more pride or more dignity in how you carry yourself. Some of you used to take a lot of pride in that and have like fallen off, or your definition of pride or dignity in yourself is evolving in some sort of way. And it feels positive. Because this is Libra, I'm going to pull 2. The one that was on the bottom. Lily! Majesty and virtue. Also very Libra, very Venusian. Majesty and virtue. The lily is the emblem rare of many virtues, good and rare. Okay. Lily. I also feel like some of you don't know, but you had a pet that has passed away, or someone's pet that has passed away is now like their guardian or is around them, or is like some of you have like it's specifically coming up for me like a dog that has like passed away that is like a spirit guide for you. I also feel like there's something about dignity, majesty, and virtue. This is like hoity toity. some of you may interpret those themes as like hoity-toity or like nose up or snob. I feel like, are you being a snob or do you just have good taste? Like, there could be, learn the difference. How are you embodying that? There could just be something about like just taking some inventory around the way that you're showing up and presenting to other people and to like just the world. I feel like take more pride, take more dignity in how you carry yourself. This is Libra energy, so I also feel like, I also feel like some of us, like, we got to stop like wearing pajamas every day. Like, we got to start putting clothes on. We got to start like leaving the house. You got to start like, I don't know. I'm a robe girly, so, but I have like 3 closets, so um, I understand. That's not for all of you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Oh, I wanted to pull from the Wisdom of Hafiz, since y'all, I will be ending the Hafiz, the daily poetry drip. I will be ending that series on May 13th. It will have been a full year that I posted every single motherfucking day. Crazy. Commitment. So I think that's the thing, the commitments that you're making to yourself, the commitments that you have previously made to yourself, and the commitments that you're going to make to yourself, and how that impacts all your relationships and partnerships. This full moon in Libra. Taking the opportunity. I feel like positive energy around somebody with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn placements. Excuse me. I feel like there is a change or an opportunity or something that's being presented to you, and you need to take the opportunity. It's like going somewhere, maybe to a bigger city or to a bigger company, a bigger department. It does, or it could be smaller. It could be different. It just may be like, I just feel like it's positive, and there's a lot of expansion that's coming by way of it. I feel like there are opportunities specifically that have come in March, April, May, June, July, August, and September, first part of October. Like spring and summer are, and spring and summer right up until the autumnal equinox, there's some really important opportunities. You need to get really, I feel like those of us who have been trying to welcome in a specific opportunity, the shit is coming in. I feel like something is bigger than you think that it is. Something that you are building is bigger than you realize that it is. I feel like getting out of your comfort zone is going to be important. Going into, like, bravely going into the unknown, bravely, courageously, as a student, as a novice, in a place of trust, not blind faith, because you know who you believe in, you know what you believe in. If you don't, that's priority number 1 right now for you. Figuring out who you are, and who you are is absolutely defined by what you believe in. So if you're struggling right now in some sort of way, get very clear about what you believe in and who you are. Love unabashedly. Number 40. This is a special message to me for my birthday. I feel like there's something about like fucking send it. this thing called life, this shit has always been about love, always will be. And you need to let yourself soar, let yourself be lifted, let yourself experience union, and then dance on the bottom of the deck, letting yourself really like connect through movement with other people, like going to ecstatic dance, taking a dance class. It doesn't have to be, it could be classical, it could be, you know, something that requires a partner. I feel like um, you go into the unknown, and I feel like so much gets excuse me, revealed to you that it puts you in a place of celebration. These eclipses, it feels like the sun and the moon. I feel like there's also, some of us are breaking patterns when it comes to relationships that we learned from our parents. That stuff is coming up. Some of you, you break the pattern by way of like, by way of the other, by way of relationship. And it puts you in this position to dance, to soar. So have patience and extend yourself some grace. All right. Those out of the way. But you can be a fool in love without being foolish. Pulling from the Ethereal Visions, Luna Edition. Actually, there was one more. I never use this in live. I always just use this over on Patreon. Patreon.com/JustJEverything. Over there, me and my ethical cult have all kinds of astrological content, and there's a tier for daily readings, all that shit. Check it. The link is in the description box below. Patreon.com/JustJEverything. Pulling from the Star Seed Oracle. Little cotton mo. In regards to this full moon and Libra, what are some messages that we're needing? In regards to this full moon and Libra. The 7 Star Sisters. Wow. Birthing creations, tapestry of life, expression. Look at this. Well, however, I was just saying, like, all your relationships, this isn't just romantic relationships. I feel like there's just like celebratory, and funny, I just said dance, and then this a whole nother deck came out with a group of people dancing. I feel like there is just so much celebration that comes when you brave the unknown on your own, or when you allow yourself to change how you show up, when you're allowing yourself to be more vulnerable and less polished and more authentic and more raw. I feel like some of us are in positions, this isn't for everybody, but some of us are at a point in our lives or in our like just development or growth, where we're starting to realize, or like other people have like said that you were boring, or like that you lacked depth, or like they were left wanting in regards to like intimacy or something when it came to you, or you know, like a ex, a relationship. I say a lot of you, but flip it, whatever. I just feel like there's something there around going into like your shadow, looking at yourself, looking like being willing to see what needs to be like, what does need to be polished up, what, like, you don't need to be so polished that everybody's always dealing with your representative, but there's stuff to polish up so that you can be very comfortable being raw and authentic and like, you know, like, and being yourself. I don't know where that came from, but the 7 sisters, the 7 Star Sisters, birthing creation. So there's something definitely about dance movement. I feel like in groups, raves, house parties, ecstatic dance, be really beneficial for you to go out. And then cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. Some of us, I feel like, who you've been hanging out with is changing or has changed you in such a way. Some of you have been like hurt or disappointed in such a way that it has really like it's gone beyond breaking your heart. Something cracked you open. And there is a oof, there is a shedding. I feel like that we're still like realizing the ways that we have shed from the year of the wood snake. The seven star sisters. There are new creations that want to be born, beauty that's yearning to be woven, new consciousness that's longing to be breathed into life. If you draw this card, you're being called to surrender to these creations, to usher in a new era of consciousness and do your bit in weaving the web of life. This is the card of the artist and the midwife. You're being called to ponder questions. What wants to be birthed through you? What new creations are whispering in your ear? What beauty are you being called to make? Creativity and intuition come from the same sacred place. They occur when we find ourselves flowing with the rest of life. Earth is renowned as a planet of manifestation and creativity, and yet so many of us have forgotten how to create. Somewhere along the way, we stop seeing ourselves as artists, as creatives, as poets. Yet, to be human is to be creative. Creativity is part of your true nature. Perhaps you're being called to surrender to a creative project, such as a new business or a book. Or perhaps you're being called to weave beauty in your home or in the way you cook. Regardless of the end result, you're being called to express yourself through your creativity, to surrender to the creativity. I mean, so, to surrender to the creative projects that both scare and excite you, to find a way to weave beauty back into everyday life. For where there's creativity, spirit and soul are present. And the world needs those qualities more now than ever before. Starseed Soul Inquiry. What new creations are you being called to birth? Ooh, that answers that. I don't even need to read Cracked Open. Some of you got birthing pains. That's what the Cracked Open is. You think it's in your heart, but it's actually in your hips. It's in your womb. Like I see like a pelvis bone breaking, where it like spiritually, like, or metaphysically. There's this like metaphorically. There's this like energy that you've been carrying in your hips, and something, there's a tension, a tightness in your hips, in your groin, and your sacral chakra and your root chakra. There's a release that I feel like is happening there. Now, I only had two questions that I wanted to ask for us with this full moon in Libra. Hydrate. Pulling from the ethereal visions. All right. For our greatest and highest good, when it comes to this full moon in Libra happening on April 1st, 2026, what needs to be released relationship wise? Not just romantic relationships, relationships across the board, which means what you bring to the relationship. What needs to be released relationship wise? Nothing flipped over or flipped out. Breathe. the level of messy that you have previously tolerated. That needs to be released. That version of you that tolerated that level of messy. It's going to be different for everybody. Eat the meat, leave the bones. You're releasing your messiness tolerance. That's what came through. Okay. What needs to be released relationship-wise? They are being quite reticent, so they want to be very specific. I guess I asked a good question. Thank you. Thank you for taking your time to give us clarity, clear answers, direct channels, prophetic insight. Thank you. Praise be to the Most High. Okay. What needs to be released relationship-wise? Your old capacity for patience. Some of y'all don't have a lick of patience, and like you want somebody to be trying to like move in and marry you in fucking 6 months. Some of you have the patience of a fucking saint, and you've been in a relationship but wanting to be engaged or married for like 5 years or 8 years or 10 years. So wherever you fall on the patience spectrum, you need to release that. Some of you move too fast. Some of you move too fucking slow when it comes to relationships. Some of you, it don't take a whole day to recognize sunshine. Some of you, like, you know when you have a good thing in your life. Some of you know when it ain't it and you need to back up, like, so I feel like what needs to be, or what's being released, has something to do with patience. Your current level of patience, your current capacity for patience. What needs to be released relationship-wise? I can't believe nothing is coming out. Thank you for the divine. Come on. Just had to clear it out. I think I used it earlier. Like, get that old energy out. Releasing old energy that you've carried around from previous relationships. At least y'all know now that I don't like be faking it. Thank you. The Seven of Swords, my motherfucking versed. my motherfucking versed. The Seven of Swords reversed. What needs to be released relationship-wise? The Seven of Swords reversed. If you know, you know. But I'm just saying, the Seven of Swords reversed, like, we've been carrying around old fears, old armor that we put on from somebody else's betrayal. You have, like, upgraded your internal security system because you were dealing with some bullshit that you will never deal with again, because you are not the person that will ignore the fuckery ever again. You are not somebody who will settle or self-abandon the way that you used to. So what needs to be released relationship-wise is what that person with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements did to you. What that Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn placement person did to you. The grudges that you're holding, the heartbreak, the disappointment, that needs to be let go. The shady behavior, the way that you didn't trust your spidey senses, the way that the paranoia, the people that disrupt your nervous systems, the people that don't contribute to your peace, the wounds from the betrayal. You have to let that shit go. If you think, okay, solely because this universe can only give you what you believe you can have, right? So if you believe that everybody lies and everybody cheats and that always happens to you, the universe has no opportunity to give you anything but that until you're willing to like shift your perspective and see differently. So I feel like there is a release when it comes to shady behavior, paranoia, suspicion, mistrust, intrusive thoughts I just want to say also abusive thoughts. I don't know what that is for some of you. Like you beat yourself up. You talk your the way that you talk to yourself may be abusive. It may be an echo from a parent or an echo from a previous relationship. Maybe some of you are finding us. Maybe some of us are finding. I say us because if it ain't you, it's me. If it ain't me, it's you. Um, Maybe some of us are finally realizing that we behaved a little like manipulatively or abusively in a certain way, and you didn't realize it. What needs to be released relationship wise are the old grudges, the old, like the ways that your defense mechanisms, your armor. You've got to like put that off. We have to trust that when we focused on ourselves, we will vibrate at a frequency that will attract other people who also are working on themselves. And 1 plus 1 will equal 2. You are going to have the heartbreaks, the disappointments, the ups, the highs, the lows that you need that are going to mold you into being the most epic motherfucking version of yourself. And I just feel like the version of you that was wounded, lied to, betrayed, stabbed in the back, the version of you that was hated on, is it got you here, but it's not gonna get you there. And we are trying to go there. We're trying to do better than good enough around here. Absolutely. Um, and so what is the outcome of letting go of these grudges? The old outdated self-limiting belief patterns. I also feel like the whole like some of us are hurt people that have started hurting people. Some of us have like treated people in ways that really negatively impacted us. Like you perpetuated a wound. Page of Wands reversed. I feel like what's the outcome of releasing it? You finally stop this cycle of bullying yourself and needing to be bullied, or needing to have these start, stop, up, down, hot, cold relationships that serve as lessons. You get to have like longer standing relationships. You get to have like deeper connections. You finally get out of like the kiddie pool. Some of us, I feel like you've been holding on to so much armor that it's forced you to play in the cesspool layer of the dating pool, or that you've been swimming in the shallow end and the depths. Like, yeah, the ass is great, but like shorty can't hold a conversation. Shorty's fucking boring. Shorty's fucking embarrassing. Shorty's too fucking loud. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is, like don't know how to act. Like there's stuff here around like you let go of those grudges, that old behavior. And I just feel like the caliber of partner that you can sustain a relationship with will change. It's not about you attracting in. Like you can attract in quality people, but can you sustain it? And that's changing. What's the outcome of releasing the Seven of Swords reversed? The Eight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles with the Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Ow, ow. Yes, there is absolutely going to be progression. I feel like you finally start to put the work in to rebuild your self-talk, rebuild your self-worth, to put the work in securing the bag, and you vibrate at a frequency that attracts a counterpart. For a lot of you, it's a divine counterpart. I love you. Happy full moon in Libra. Thanks for rocking with me. This was super long. You got this.